You know, anytime that I relate to a character in an episode all too much, I know that it's going to go down hard. Like today. Hello, cartoon fanatics. RJ here, and welcome back to another Cartoon Corner covering My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Alright, so I've had all these collected clips, and I didn't know what episodes they went to, but apparently none of them were for this week's episode, so it was a surprise to me. I thought I would go in knowing what was going to happen, and it turned out it was something completely different. So, hooray! I'm I'm unsurprised. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I'm getting off track. So, this episode boils down to Starlight Glimmer having trouble balancing out her duties of a school counselor and spending time with her friends. And the moment I realized this was kind of the premise they were going with, I knew I was going to relate to this way too much. I understand the importance and the feeling that if you're not completely fulfilling the duties that are given to you, that you're somehow failing them by taking time off and getting a break. And Trixie's definitely having none of Starlight Glimmer's work ethic here. She's doing everything in her little unicorn power to get Starlight to interact and go to this special event that she and Maud's boyfriend Briar and Sunburst, wow, I almost forgot Sunburst's name there for a moment, but they've all planned like this little get together, and they had been apparently planning it for a long time, but Starlight keeps forgetting because she's desperately trying to help prep for all of this while also balancing out being the counselor and doing all of that, and Trixie's pretty fed up with it, which leads to some very great faces. Honestly, this season has some of the best reaction faces. You can tell since the animators know this is the last season, they're just going all out on these expressions, and it's great. So once Trixie manages to convince Starlight to shut down the counselor's office for the student holiday, is there a holiday going on? When does the school do their vacations and breaks? How does this work? I have no idea. But anyway, the counselor's office is shut down so Starlight can spend some time with her friends. And it turns out that the hippogriff, Silverstream's brother, happens to find him because Silverstream apparently didn't go home when she was supposed to. She had been asking Starlight for questions, and at the end, Trixie kind of blew her off because she was trying to give Starlight some time. And now Starlight's freaking out because she feels like she's failed her duties, and now Silverstream's in trouble, and it's all her fault. It also doesn't help that Silverstream's school project that she was working on and asking Starlight help for was about cockatrices. So the whole team goes into the Everfree Forest and they find a whole bunch of cockatrices. If you remember back in season 1, these evil chicken snake things can turn any creature to stone, and it seems like the only way to reverse the effects or to stop them is by having another cockatrice stare at the infected stone creature or at another cockatrice, or if you just have Fluttershy do the stare. Really, where is Fluttershy when you need her? You guys need Fluttershy. You should have called her. You know she's good with this kind of stuff. So, despite all of the unusual amounts of cockatrices, who are apparently in migration at the moment, which is why there are so many for a usually solitary creature, they manage to find safety in the giant magical treehouse Hasbro tells you to buy it. It's only $29.99. I don't know if that's how much it actually costs. I'm just kind of saying random words at this point. And everyone seems to make it in one piece with the exception of Maud's boyfriend Briar, who has been turned to stone, which leads to some pretty funny romantic moments with Maud. Honestly, for the most flatlined pony in the whole show, she's definitely got some great comedic timing. We all love a good Maud moment. But they do manage to find Silverstream. She was hanging out in the Hasbro treehouse the whole time, having befriended a cockatrice, and she decided to finish up her project before going home. She just happened to forget to tell her folks about it, which is why everyone was freaking out. And Starlight definitely had lots of freak out moments because she felt like it was her responsibility to help Silverstream, and she didn't. However, Silverstream mentions that it was good for her to be able to figure things out for herself, and it's also important for Starlight to be able to balance her work and her friends. When I wrote on the title of this video that Starlight is a mood, I specifically meant that she was kind of a mood for me in this episode. I work between 8 to 9 hour shifts 5 days a week a lot of the time with my job. It's physically exhausting and mentally and sometimes emotionally as well. But then on top of that, I like doing these videos, and I'm also doing all this design stuff as well because I want to keep my drawing up, and I'm also trying to keep up the musical instrument that I've learned over the years, and I don't want to lose all of that skill. My point being is I understand having a lot on your hooves or hands in my real life case, and I could resonate with Starlight here a lot. How you feel obligated to the duties that you are technically getting paid for. That is your job. They are paying you to do all of these things, so you want to do the very best you can. But at the same time, it also, if you don't have a good balance, it stops you from doing other things that are important to you psychologically and emotionally. But you can't just drop everything that's going on in your job either. It's kind of this long and complicated balance, and that balance is different for each person as well. So Starlight's solution here was she was going to put in counselor times, so that way she could still help out the students, but then the students would come to her with the most important problems instead of them coming in for every single little thing that may not be so important for her to be there to help them out with. I wish I could do hours like that. Just pick what times I want people to come and bug me. But no, that's not the case in real life. But I think the good takeaway here, and it's really a takeaway adult lesson, which I always enjoy it when My Little Pony does takeaway grown-up lessons as well as kid lessons, because it really shows that they're aware of their demographic and how much of an adult audience that they've accrued over the years, especially those who might be parents watching this with their children. But at the end of the day, this is really about being able to find that balance between work and your other stuff that you do outside of work, and discovering what helps you the most, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, because it's impossible to do everything in one day and perfectly balance it out, but you got to figure out exactly what things you want to do and how long you want to do them. You got to make some things more of a priority than other things depending on how much more committed you are to them. I don't know if you could tell in my voice, but I am very tired, so tired that I forgot to put my phone on silent when I started recording this. And a lot of that's because I'm still trying to figure out that balance myself. During the summer season, I kick off and do a whole lot more than I usually do if I wasn't doing enough already. So again, I felt Starlight during this episode. I can understand her struggle of wanting to balance it all out. And it's something that you don't necessarily figure out right away. It's something you experiment with over time once you start in the working world a lot more and are kind of in it 24/7. I hope that made some sort of sense. Like I said, I am very tired while I'm recording this, so I think I'll just stop my rambling and finish it off with the end. If you liked this video, make sure to put a hooves up and press that like button. And don't forget to comment and subscribe as well. Let us know, or let me know. Why am I saying us? There is no us. It's just me. That's what I was going over. Anyway, comment below on your thoughts on this episode, and if you can relate to Starlight, or if you'll have related more to Trixie and her frustrations that Starlight was spending all of her time working. Just let me know how you felt about the dynamics. Overall, I thought this episode was pretty decent. It wasn't the best My Little Pony episode I've seen, but it still had a really good message, which clearly hit home for me because I spent several minutes talking about it. And with that, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life in general, and there's a lot going on this channel because of it. So make sure to stay tuned to all of that to see what else we'll be up to, and I'll see you next time.